point is that I like Bethesda games, and that's why I talk critically about them. I also like Warframe, which is why I've done 2 Warframe videos. And it's kind of funny because I've done them at a point where Warframe is now just getting a lot of heat by the partners. The Warframe partners are now basically saying Warframe needs to change and the way it's being run needs to change. Pretty damn funny. How, like, right after I get those 2 videos done, just on unrelated topics, it just exploded. Whenever I make a video, like, bashing a Bethesda game, or aspects of a Bethesda game, and talk, you know, even constructive criticism and things like that, it comes from a place of wanting the game better than it is. And a lot of people don't understand the value in comparing a mod to the full product and saying, developer, next version of the game includes something like this, or take what this mod did and bring it up to a professional quality standard. That offends the crap out of people when you talk about how mods will do things better than the main game. They're like, well, that mod wouldn't exist if the main game didn't exist. Duh. Why are you trying to protect this thing so much? Why have you put so much of your ego, your personality? Someone else, I believe his name was Plague of Gripes, he called it comfort branding, where people, their identity melds with the brand. So when you talk negatively about, say, Dragon Ball fans go apeshit over it. Comfort branding is a good term for it, because just today in a different Discord, I was poking around while I was waiting for something to get done. I was upstairs at the time. Hold on a second. Let me bring up Discord, because this is good. I say that now I can't find Discord because I'm a genius. All right, that'll do it. Yeah. So Discord was behind Morrowind the whole time. Yeah. So I'm going over to it. Okay, so this is on a different YouTuber's Discord, but I was over there because they usually have good conversations. Anyway, so on this other YouTuber's Discord, they said something along the line, like, they mentioned Fallout 76 Wastelanders, all right? And they said it's mostly positive now on what's it called, on YouTube. Wait, hold on. On Steam. So the Steam reviews for Fallout 76 Wastelanders have moved up to mostly positive from mostly negative. They've gone up. And when people asked why the sudden change in reviews, they remembered seeing it mixed. There's a particular person in that Discord who runs an Elder Scrolls Dungeons & Dragons campaign, is super friends with some of the community managers, and is just like indoctrinated in everything Bethesda, and chooses to unconditionally love, or unconditionally support everything that's Bethesda in general. Occasionally has some critiques about it, but for the most part is what I like to call these people super fans. Okay? So she said, because the trolls give up, and now the people who actually play it write the reviews. That was her response to that. To why are they seeing the reviews different? She said, because the trolls gave up, and now the people who actually play write the reviews. That was her response to why has it changed. And, you know, I went ahead and I gave her a paragraph. Very simple, very, very quick to type. I pretty much said that you do realize that people who dislike things are usually not trolls. And that saying that is tribal and small-minded. And I went on to go with the vast majority of folks who played Fallout 76 quit for a good reason. And And when they come back, they first of all, the moment they get on Steam, they negatively review it, okay? Because they remember in the past when the game was utter shit, okay? So they remember that, and so they immediately review it negatively. However, the only people who can review the game are people who own it, this is Steam we're talking about, not Metacritic. On Steam, you can only review something if you owned it. So, as a result, the owners on Steam, they react to it by downvoting it. And you have to remember that it was a buggy, glitchy, like terrible game when it first came out. It was awful when it first came out. So people, the moment they got onto Steam, they voted it negative. Then they got to play it. And as they played it, they realized that the dialogue system in Fallout 76 is now better than Fallout 4's. That there are actual choices and consequences you can make during the main quest of Wastelanders. They realized that 90% of the bugs, I'm not saying the graphical glitches, I'm not saying like NPCs T-posing and shit, that's still there. But I'm talking about the immortal enemies, the frequent crashes, your character just dying randomly, all of those like game-breaking bugs, the ones that made the game unplayable, those are gone now. Like I'm sure someone can find one of them still, but in my time playing Wastelanders, I have not encountered any of those game-breaking bugs that I encountered up until 6 months ago. 6 months ago. Still had those bugs. So, my point is that if the game-breaking bugs were your threshold for disliking/liking the game, your dislike just changed into a like. If the storyline, specifically the RPG elements, was your threshold for disliking or liking, your dislike just turned into a like. If it was the NPCs and their dialogue system being better than Fallout 4, that was your threshold for disliking to liking. Your dislike just turned into a like at that point. So, at that point, like, there are a lot of people who changed their minds from the beginning to the, just from the beginning to now. And as a result, it's changing. But to that super fan, none of those criticisms were valid. The people who looked at it and said, this game isn't for me, there's too much trash in it, blah, blah, blah. Those people are just trolls. That's what the superfan thinks in their head. Because they're having fun, why can't you? Yeah. Exactly. So, my point is, when I confronted this person with it, because she's a longtime viewer of this other particular YouTuber. And again, she's in with the community managers. She runs her own Elder Scrolls Dungeons & Dragons module. She's huge in the community, okay? So when I told her all of that, she replied with, "Oh my god, you mean people that dislike stuff are not trolls? I never would have thought of that." She basically came back with sarcasm, right? But it didn't stop her from initially saying that the reason the review score changed is because the trolls gave up. In other words, she spouts off basically, circle jerk stuff. And then, when told, hey, there's nuance in the world, uses sarcasm to deflect the fact that she's being a bad person. That's a super fan of Bethesda. And so I just looked at that entire thing, and I pretty much said, this is what's wrong. This is the type of person who would look at one of my valid criticisms of the Elder Scrolls and say, this is just a troll. And they would write it off because it isn't 100% positive of their favorite thing. It's comfort branding. You see, Bethesda has become their comfort brand. And without it, if it's ever attacked, it's an attack on themselves. That's the problem. And so that's all I'm really trying to say, is that it's everywhere. People like that. Now I'm gonna remove Discord from my screen, and I'll probably turn that clip into an actual, I don't know, just quick YouTube video of me rambling. I'll just like grab that ramble there. But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of, it's an interaction that I had earlier, where you have people who, like, Fallout 76 is not the terrible game it used to be, but to a lot of players now, it is still not good enough. It's not what they wanted. Because remember, in the Fallout community, we have people who like Fallout 1 and 2 and felt Fallout 3 betrayed it. We have people like myself who actually didn't really like Fallout 1 and 2 that much. You know, we liked the story. We liked the characters. We liked the overall feeling of the game, but we hated the combat system. Despised the combat system. And when Fallout 3 came around, this is a game we can get into because it's an open world game. And then New Vegas came around, it's like, oh god, they just synthesized the good things about 1 and 2 and put them into 3. I love this game. So, Fallout 3 is when I became a Fallout fan, and Fallout New Vegas is when I loved Fallout. Fallout 4, I didn't like until I got my hands on mods. And then, well, Fallout 76, I mildly enjoy, but I mostly pick fun at. Here's the thing, though. If you were just a fan of Fallout 1 and 2, and you think that Bethesda committed this terrible sin by making 3, you're going to think 76 is terrible. Okay? If you only like New Vegas and you didn't like Fallout 3, you're going to think 76 is terrible. If you kind of liked Fallout 3, but you think Fallout 4 stripped away too many RPG elements and, you know, just isn't that good at all, you're probably going to think Fallout 76 is terrible. See, they got a level of progression going. I'm willing to accept the game at every step of the way, but on different terms and for different things. I have enjoyed the entire series, but for different reasons. I probably will never go back to Fallout 1 and 2. I will probably never go back to unmodded Fallout 3, New Vegas, or 4. And Fallout 76, I guarantee you in a few weeks, I will probably forget it exists entirely. Unless they screw up again. God, they screwed up for like a whole year straight. Not just Fallout 76 the game, but the entire circus around it. They just screwed, like, one screw up after another, after another, after another. How and why do you become a fan of something, someone? Don't we all just like stuff? Why complicate things? People really attach themselves to things. They just do. You know, I like Star Wars a lot, but I despise the new Disney Star Wars overall. However, there are things about new Disney Star Wars I kind of like. And so, I don't know, I just, I've opted to stop caring about Disney Star Wars. Like, I will ignore it. It's idea that anyone who dislikes the thing they like is just a troll. I mean, I am a troll. I've done trollish things a lot. I mean, look at yesterday when I did a stream and that guy said I was passive-aggressive, and that's sad, goodbye. And then I made fun of him, and then other people went ahead and donated to my channel on behalf of him. You know, they gave him a gift sub and everything. That was funny to me. And I had no empathy for him, no sympathy for him, because I thought it was funny. Yeah, that's about it. Let's be honest, people overreact, and I like to make fun of people who overreact. But then I overreact too, because I'm a hypocrite.